Lion's Den, powered by KCB Bank.
So what happens to those entrepreneurs who don't get deals in the den? Is it the end of the road? Not so for Navalayo Osembo. She appeared on the very first episode of Lion's Den Season 1 with her ambitious plan to produce Kenya's first and very own brand of athletic footwear. The stylish product, befitting Kenya's status as a leader on the track, caught the attention of the Lions. But Navalayo stuck to her original demands and didn't negotiate an investment. 1 year on, and Endor Athletic is thriving. The experience and publicity Navalayo received after appearing on the show helped her to transform her business.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Navalayo Osembo. I am the co-founder of Endor Athletic and we are making the first made in Kenya running shoes. What's really unique about this product is that this is the only product in the world that's been made in conjunction with Kenyan athletes. When you look at Kenyan runners and what they do on the international stage, once we started thinking about it, it's like, how come there hasn't been any running shoe that's kind of come from Kenya? Once we realized the potential of what Kenya has and looking at the international footwear market and what it's done and the companies that are there, and we decided why not do something similar, why not bring it home, why not do it here? So what we did is we researched the Kenyan style of running. We went down to ETN and Kaptagat, we talked to Kenyan athletes, and together with a team of world-class designers, we put their experiences and skills into one product, the ENDA ETN. In just 1 month of opening our sales, we sold over 1,000 pairs of shoes in 32 countries around the world for over 12.8 million shillings. So I think that kind of proved to us the concept that the demand is there, that the world is yearning for a Kenyan brand, and we definitely think the brand has a higher value. Lion's Den was a fantastic experience, I must say. Of course, I was very nervous before going on to the show. My ask is 5 million shillings for 1.5% of the company.
Where do you get that number from if you have not done a valuation of the company?
We were looking at two things. First, the sales that we had achieved in terms of our own track record. And secondly, we were also looking at the trajectory of similar companies doing what we are doing in the same industry, in the same space.
And what's the price point?
$100, 10,000 shillings.
So your target is not local?
Our target is 10% local, 90% exports. I want the shoe to be sold here with all my heart. Like, that's absolutely one of the things I really would like to walk on the streets and see people wearing Endor shoes. I'm hoping we can be able to achieve the necessary economies of scale that will drive down the cost a little bit down so that people can be able to afford it here.
What is the 5 million for?
So the 5 million is basically to help us acquire one type of machinery. That way we are one step closer to making the shoe like 100% made in Kenya.
I think for me, you've limited yourself by putting yourself in a box saying you must make it in a certain space, and that will definitely impact on you, on the growth of the business.
Yeah.
It'll be very slow. You might sell 1,000 pairs, fine, but I'm all by build Kenya, but I'm also practical and realistic about where my funds will go. So for that reason, I think I'm out.
Personally, I don't want to be part of something where I'm going to be such a tiny player, so I'm out.
Everybody has their own risk appetite, and they define it for themselves, what's enough for them to take and what's not enough for them to take. So I think if you kind of look at the absolute numbers, 1.5% might look a little bit small, but if you look at what is the 1%, what's the value of that 1%, then it kind of changes what you're talking about.
I'm not much of a runner, but it's cool. I think it has a lot of potential in the Kenyan market.
You're getting 2 lions. I'm a chartered marketer. That's what I'm going to bring. She's going to bring you the marketing skills and the local contacts. 30%, 5 million.
Definitely, I think 30% is a big ask. I'm looking at 5 million for 5%.
I'll throw in an extra million. 6 million, 21%.
I think it was a little bit a confusion, to be honest. Like, it was good and bad confusion in the sense of you know your ground, you know what you're made of, and you kind of want them to see the value that you're bringing on the table. We did want to kind of go with the Lions with their credibility, credentials. There's definitely possibility of like doing great things together. Okay, so I've gathered my thoughts together. 6 million for 6% of a company that has potential of being like one of the greatest brands from Africa is a pretty good deal.
So guys, lady?
I'm out.
Okay.
I have to say that I'm out, but I wish you all the best.
So I think overall it was a win-win. If it was a big risk for them, that's fine, but for us it was also a big risk in terms of letting that much of the business go. And as a company is something definitely to invest in, something that's going to grow not only now but also in future. Well, I'm very optimistic about the future. I think ENDA is going to be a household name. We want to provide people with a means of livelihood, whether it be directly by them making our shoes or indirectly, but through the supply chain from us sourcing things locally. So I see it more as a product that becomes a household name. I see it as a community that brings more people together, gets people to know about Kenya. And I also see it as a global powerhouse in terms of a brand that actually comes in and says, you know what, I'm the underdog, but guess what? I'm here, I'm from Kenya, and I'm going to do this despite the narrative. It's been a really, really great experience. First, it makes you get out of your shell. I mean, a lot of people have great products, but they're always afraid of putting themselves out there. They're thinking, what if I fail? What if people make fun of me on media? So I would say, go for it, apply for it, ignore the noise and just kind of go for the thing. And I would say the show is a really good platform to start in terms of getting a local network, local mentorship, and getting the local market to know about what you're doing.
Lion's Den, powered by KCB Bank.